So in my time working in schools, I've often noticed that when staff are talking about or problem solving a particular child's could be problem behavior or really thinking about how to develop and help a young person grow, I've noticed that there can often be two sides. And on the one side are those who say, this child needs more nurture. So what we need to do is to nurture this child more. And on the other side, there are those that say, well, we feel that what this child needs is they need more structure. Structure is what they need. And what has happened consistently actually is there becomes almost two camps. And you have the kind of nurture camp and you have the structure camp. And because sometimes we hold these beliefs so strongly, we can sometimes, or I have seen that sometimes, the needs of the child are ignored so that we can hold tight to our ideology or our core beliefs in terms of nurture and structure. And in holding on to that and in forgetting the needs of the child, what often happens is when we're working with a child or
are in contact with a child,
we might end up giving too much nurture or not enough nurture, or too much structure or not enough structure. And that's really what I want to focus in this video on, is how can we as educators and parents really move from, nurture and structure being very kind of polarized and almost being opposites. But how can we start to view nurture and structure as really two components which need to work together? And as you guys have probably know or have heard, when I think about nurture, I think about the interaction that we give young people that helps to build their value, that helps to build up their self-esteem.
and it's really communicated through.
Unconditional regard and unconditional love.
And ultimately, what I mean by that is
True nurture should not be based on conditions. It should be given when the child is doing the right thing and also when the child is not doing the right thing. And when I think about structure, I think about consistency, clear boundaries, and I also think about safety. And the reason that I'm using these words really is I want to illustrate really how they work together. So for me, structure and nurture work together like this. I see nurture as a plant, i.e., in a pot. Simply so the plant is in the pot, it needs to be watered, it needs to be taken care of. And I see structure as the plant pot that helps to contain the nurture. And what I mean by this is, for good nurture to take place, there needs to be a structure boundary in the nurture. And subsequently, if there is going to be good structure, there needs to be an element of nurture, or there will be structure for no apparent reason. So for me, this is something that I'm really trying to promote in my work and is really the main focus of this video and the next coming videos in the next couple of weeks. So I'm saying all of this about nurture and structure and how they work together to really introduce a model which I'm going to be speaking about, and it's called the Nurture Structure Highway. And it was originally created as a model for parents, but the model
has some very
useful information which I've been using in the schools that I work in, and I have intentionally been promoting and thinking about these concepts even as a parent myself. So the nurture structure highway is a model that helps us to look at the healthy ways in which we can offer nurture and structure to our young people and how they connect with each other. But it's also useful for us as the adults because it also helps us to look at what unhealthy ways of nurture that we could give. And it also helps us to look at the unhelpful ways that we might give structure to our young people in our care. So in the next video, what I am going to do is I'm going to have a look at some healthy ways in which we can give nurture to the young people in our care. And I'm going to be focusing on assertive and supportive care. So if you want to know more about that, make sure you listen to my next video. So yeah, guys, thank you again. I'm going to be making sure that this is more consistent. If you're liking the video, please share. Please give it a thumbs up. And I will see you next week.